Hello children, welcome to your online class. Let's continue our class. So class 7, today we are going to start a new chapter, chapter 6, sound. First of all, we will talk about the sound. What is sound? The definition of sound is a form of energy which creates the sensation of hearing in our ears. Sound is produced when an object vibrates. Okay, so we hear many sounds around us in everyday life. We can even recognize a person from the sound of his voice even without seeing his face. Thus, every sound has a unique quality which distinguishes it from other sounds. So, sounds play an important role in our daily life. It helps us to communicate with others. Now, some sources of sound like vibration of stressed rubber band, sitar when we play with the strings of sitar, then drums, they produce sound, bells, and the human vocal cords. Okay, these are some sources of sounds. There are many more. Okay. Now next one is propagation of sound. Propagation means movement of waves to spread out the sound. Now just now what I have told you, sound is produced by the vibration of an object. For example, this is loudspeaker. Okay. Now when an object vibrates back and forth in air, then the molecules of air, these, okay, molecules of air close to this object also start vibrating back and forth with the same frequency. These vibrating air molecules pass on their motion to the next layer of molecules. Okay, air molecules pass this to next level molecules. Okay, now they also start vibrating back and forth. This process goes on and ultimately all the air molecules around the sound producing object start vibrating back and forth just like the vibrating object. When the vibrating air molecules fall off on our ears, the ears feel these vibrations as sound. Thus, when an object vibrates, then the air around it also starts vibrating in exactly the same way and carries sound to our ears through the vibrations of its molecules. And we say that a sound wave travels from the sound producing object to our ears through air. So children, sound needs a medium for propagation. Medium means the substance through which sound travels is called medium. Okay, so sound cannot travel through vacuum because vacuum has no molecules which can vibrate and carry sound waves. Just now I have explained you how molecules vibrate and they carry sound waves. So vacuum has no molecules, so sound cannot travel through vacuum. Okay, sound can travel through solid, liquids and gases. Okay, because the molecules of solids, liquids and gases carry sound waves from one place to another through their vibrations. Okay, thus sound needs a medium, that is solid, liquid or gas, for transmission. Okay, so a material medium like air, water, wood, etc. is necessary for the transmission of sound from the source of sound to our ears. So now we can say sound can travel in solids, liquids and gases. Okay. For example, when the telephone bell rings in our home, we can hear its sound even from a distance. In this case, the sound of ringing telephone bell travels to us through the air in the room, which is a gas. Gas, okay, air is a mixture of gases. Similarly, when we talk to a person standing near us, then the sound of our talk travels to the other person through the air around us. Okay, so sound can travel through solids, liquids and gases. Now next one is sound waves are longitudinal waves. What are longitudinal waves? Longitudinal waves are waves in which the motion of the individual particles of the medium is in a direction that is parallel to the direction of energy transport. That is called longitudinal. Okay. So now what we are saying? We are saying sound waves are longitudinal waves. Why? Because particles of the medium, these are the particles of medium through which the sound is travelled, vibrate parallel to the direction that the sound wave moves. That is why we are saying sound waves are the longitudinal waves, because the particles of the medium through which the sound is traveling, that vibrate parallel to the direction. Parallel, you all know what is parallel. So these are parallel to the direction in which sound wave moves. So sound waves are moving here and they are parallel. These particles are parallel to that. For example, a vibrating string can create longitudinal waves. As the vibrating string moves in the forward direction, it begins to push upon surrounding air molecules. These all are air molecules. Okay, moving them to the right towards the nearest neighbor. Means these molecules are moving right towards the nearest neighbor, then they are following this process. Okay, like this only. So this causes the air molecules to the right of the string to be compressed into a small region of space. So this type small region of space, these spaces, these are called compression. Okay, and as the vibrating string moves in the reverse direction leftward, it lowers the pressure of air immediately to its right, thus causing air molecules to move back leftward. So it creates lower pressure to the right of the string, causes air molecules in that region immediately to the right of the string to expand into a large region like this. These are expanding. So this is called rarefaction. This part is called compression. Compression means the region of high pressure. Okay, the density of air is higher than normal, is called compression. And the region of low pressure, these region of low pressure where the density of air is lower than the normal is known as rarefaction. Since the air molecules are moving in a direction that is parallel to the direction that the wave moves, the sound wave is referred to as a longitudinal wave. So children, now some terms we have used just now. These are important definitions. Okay, first one is longitudinal waves. Longitudinal waves. We can define these are the waves in which the motion of the individual particles of the medium is in a direction that is parallel to the direction of energy transport, and sound is a form of energy. Okay, so second definition is compression. What is compression? The region of a sound wave in which air particles are crowded together, creating a region of high pressure, is called compression. Just now you have seen in that diagram, this is the region of compression. Okay, where the air particles are crowded. Okay, now the region of the second one is rarefaction. This is also very important. What is rarefaction? The region of a sound wave in which air particles are spread apart, creating a region of low pressure, is called rarefaction. Okay, this is called rarefaction, where the air particles are spread apart. Okay, these are creating low pressure, is called rarefaction. Okay, so these three definitions are very important. Now some more definitions, children. These are also important, and we are just doing the definitions because we don't have time to elaborate all the things. So first one is frequency. What is frequency? The number of vibrations produced by a vibrating object is in 1 second is called frequency of that of the sound. Okay. Now time period, the time taken by a vibrating object to complete one vibration. For example, if this is simple pendulum and it is vibrating, means when what time it is taking for one complete vibration to reach from here to here, then here, and then again here. This complete from here, it started, then goes there, then comes again in its previous position. So the time taken by a vibrating object to complete one vibration is called time period. Now amplitude, the maximum displacement of a vibrating object from its mean position in a medium. Means if it is here and it goes from this much distance, this is the highest maximum displacement from this mean position is known as amplitude. Clear? So the maximum displacement of a vibrating object from its mean position in a medium is known as amplitude. Now we will discuss the characteristics of sound. So first one is loudness. Sounds are produced by vibrating objects. This we all know. If more energy is supplied to an object by plucking it or hitting it more strongly, then the object will vibrate with a greater amplitude and produce a louder sound. So loudness of sound depends on the amplitude of vibrations. Okay, and it is expressed in the unit decibel, and decibel is represented by dB. Okay, the symbol of decibel is dB. The softest sound which humans can hear is said to have a loudness of 0 decibel. Now next one is pitch. This is the characteristic of sound by which we can distinguish between different sounds of the same loudness. It is directly proportional to frequency. Okay, pitch is the for example, we can distinguish between a man's voice and a woman's voice even without seeing them. This is because the man's voice and a woman's voice differ in their pitch or shrillness. Okay, pitch is the shrillness or flatness of the sound which depends upon the frequency. Okay, the pitch of a sound is directly proportional to its frequency. Means if frequency will be greater, the pitch will be greater. Okay, they are directly proportional to each other. Okay. Third one is sound quality. Okay, this is also a characteristic of sound and it enables us to distinguish between the sound produced by different sound producing objects of same loudness and pitch. Okay, for example, we can distinguish between the sounds produced by a sitar and a flute even without seeing these musical instruments. This is because the sounds produced by a sitar and a flute differ in quality. Now speed of sound. Okay, the speed of sound depends on the nature of medium or material through which it travels. In general, sound travels slowest in gases, faster in liquids and fastest in solids. Okay, because we all know it travels through the molecules. So depending on the position of molecules, okay, slowest in gases, faster in liquids and fastest in solids. In air, the sound depends upon its temperature, density and its humidity. Now next one is audible and inaudible sound. Okay, a healthy young person hears all sound frequencies in the range from approximately 20 to 20,000 hertz. Hertz is the unit of frequencies. To measure the frequency, we express it in hertz. Okay, so sound range between 20 to 20,000. This range of frequency is called audible range, which a human can hear easily. Okay, now second one is sound frequency below 20 hertz or above 20,000 hertz, which is inaudible for human being. Okay, so this range is having an inaudible range or inaudible sound. Now next one is infrasonic sound. The sound having two low frequencies less than 20 hertz. It means this is inaudible by human ear. Okay, so the sound having two low frequencies are called infrasonic sounds. Then ultrasonic sounds, the sound having two high frequencies greater than 20,000 hertz, which is also inaudible, okay, are called ultrasonic sounds. Next one is noise and music. It is very simple. Sounds which are unpleasant to hear. Okay, these are called noise. Okay, noise is produced by the irregular vibration of the sound producing source. Some sounds are very pleasant to hear. These are called musical sounds. However, a musical sound becomes too loud, it would become noise. Thus, music can sometimes become noise. Children, we will do this much in this chapter, and whatever I have taught you, that much will come in your exams. Okay. Last one is sonar. The full form of sonar is sound navigation and ranging. Sonar is an apparatus which is used to find the depth of a sea or to locate the underwater things like shoals of fish, shipwrecks, and enemy submarines. Okay, so this is also important, the full form of sonar. This much for today. Thank you and bye bye.